Hey, look, if you're watching this, it's time to wake up and stop wasting your life. Honestly, this is gonna be a conversation that's not gonna be the funnest to have, but you need to have it. And today we're gonna find out how to not waste your life. Really, there's a lot of people that I see walking around doing stuff that it boggles my mind at what we don't realize is possible for life. And so today should be a wake-up call. And someone's sending you this video, man, it's because they want you to wake up a little bit. And the truth is, you can in fact make your life one that people celebrate and sometimes envy and ask, man, how'd you do this? It's really the true part of it is like, how do I get up and do something where I'm living a life where someone at some point goes, man, how'd you get out of that hole? How'd you do that? How do you live a life that's of value to people in a way of servitude, of focus, of a business, maybe of an impact? You help people make money, make income. Maybe you help people become joyous. Like if you are in a hole right now, you can climb out and help people who were in a hole like you were before. That's one of the fastest ways is to step back and go, how can I help people who are where I am right now once I've got out of where I'm at? That's a simple focal point, right? But we go to this today, I want you to think about that, because here's the thing I do know for me. I've gone through this, man. I have been a person that my life wasn't of great value and of great use to people. I was wasting my life. I had gone through a lot, achieved a lot, but fell short of it. Like it real caught somewhat brief, but not too brief, because you need to hear this. I was given away as a kid, 3 years old. I went into a really crazy realm of foster care. I beat the odds. Any prison in America, 75% of the inmates are former foster kids like me. I went through some craziness. I got adopted at 14 years old after being in the system for 11 years by an all-white, very poor family. I endured a lot of crazy. And then from there, I beat the odds and got a college scholarship, met my real dad in college, had my first son in college, made it to the NFL, did the NFL thing, was great. And then my life fell apart, man. I came home and didn't know who I was without the game of football. I tore my left shoulder playing against the Philadelphia Eagles as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Season over, career over. And I came home and, man, I did not know how to be me without this thing that used to make me, football. And so I had to like navigate this up and down kind of craziness. And when you don't have this anchoriness, this kind of solid foundation, it gets tough. It gets tough to move forward. And so what I found myself doing was really being in this place of, I got to find out exactly how to manage. And I didn't first figure out that I needed to manage without distracting, right? Distraction was the thing we all go to, was what I went to, is hang out with my friends, go party, I'm gonna go drink a little bit, just, get loose, because then it's all fun. And look how great my life is. And inside I'm dying, right? And so I found myself at one point, this is after the NFL, by the way, living in a 500 square foot studio apartment. Behind the front desk, I got a team, like a team of people that worked for my business, that they worked there. And then one of them's girlfriend had a house behind her house that I lived in, a 500 square foot studio apartment. In this studio, I had a buddy also on the couch, which was tiny. I could take my foot off my bed and touch the couch, which was a tiny little space. And I would have my kids, when I had all three of them, living and sleeping on an air mattress next to my bed. Like, think about that. Like I was out, I was wasting my life. I was not doing very much. And externally you saw that, but internally, man, I was dead. I was empty inside. When I didn't have my kids, I was running around trying to fill that hole with different women and different things I would go do and place I'd be. And I was not proud of this in any way, but I didn't know what else to do. And so what happened is, over time, I'm gonna teach you today what I did to stop wasting your life. Is I got to the point of now I'm remarried to my ex-wife, have an amazing marriage, I have a nice home, I have nice vehicles, I have time and financial freedom, and I get to make an impact. I live a life that is, for me, I enjoy, and I love the way that I can show up in the world. And inside, I feel a sense of what I call limitless, ridiculous power. This sense of I can create anything, like literally anything I want to, not because I know I'm gonna be great at that thing, but because I know I will do what it takes to get great. That's the first step of creating a life that's not being wasted. It's doing something, getting out of your hole so I can do it like I do now and come back and talk to people about how to be able to get out of the same hole. That could be a space of what you do to have your life not be wasted, or a waste. Or maybe you just create something for your own life and you go back and do a career that's a regular career, a regular get up, do my job, do my thing, come home job, but you're serving the people that need you. You're showing up well for your mom and dad who raised you, or your grandma or cousin who raised you, or your friends, your siblings, or whatever. There's something positive coming from that. And for me, it's the big thing is when I go down the steps of it, these are the steps of how you actually do it. The first step is, well, you got to find out who can help you. Because we all think that we got to go into these things and we can't mess anything up in somebody else's life. So let's just keep the burden to ourselves. Let's not even talk about stuff. Let's keep the burden to myself. I don't want to bother anybody else. That's the worst thing you can do. Because the truth of it always boils down to the people in your life that love you. They want to see you do well. They want to see you show up in certain ways. And what you typically do is we just go, this is problematic, this is bad. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to share myself with people because I don't want to take their energy down. So you tuck away. But when in your life has anybody come to you and said, hey, can you help me real quick? And you go, you peasant, I don't want to deal with you. No, you go, I'd love to help you. You actually feel good because somebody is reaching out to you and they see you as an individual that can help them. So it's like, awesome, right? So do that for somebody else in your life. Show up in a way that allows you to actually get some people to support you because you need that. Assuming they're people you haven't done wrong or burned bridges, that's what you want to go towards. For me, it was also God. I got to lean into people who can help me, and I got to find an anchored point, and God gave me guidance, gave me clarity, right? So finding someone who can help for me, that's a big piece. And then with the big thing is what worked. The next step is you have to find out what actually works. And for me, it was taking responsibility and owning the fact that I was the common denominator in all of my failures. Me. You are the common denominator in all your problems, all your failures. You are. And in those moments, you're going to have to own up to aspects that do not feel the greatest. It's owning the fact that you showed up incorrectly, you did something wrong, you didn't serve at a high level, whatever it was, or you dropped the ball, made a just transparent mistake. And in doing that, it's hard to swallow that pill sometimes. I get it. It's hard to swallow the pill of you sucked in that moment, but it's necessary. And then what happens beyond that is you get to this next point where you can finally go and say, you know what? I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to take unconfident action. It's a big piece of it. Unconfident, usually uncomfortable action. The reason it's so important is because the place you're at right now, without action, nothing changes. Someone once told me, I love the statement, he says, action ends suffering. If you're suffering in some manner, it's only an action that'll change it. I don't know what action, I don't know what sequence of actions, but I do know an action is the only thing that'll change that. You've got to do something, create something, go in a different direction as an action. And typically, it's not something you'd normally do. If it was, you'd already be in that place. So it's getting to the point of going, I'm going to take this unconfident action that is uncomfortable things I must do that might make me feel weird, make me feel like I'm out of whack. When I was in that position, I was in that 500 square foot apartment, I had to cut off certain friends, choose to be in certain places, go areas I hadn't been in a long time, and be around people I hadn't talked to for a while. It was uncomfortable. It was unconfident. I didn't know if they'd accept me. I didn't know if they would allow me to come back into the fold. And they did, man. Like, it was a big thing, but I could do that, but it was uncomfortable and it was out of character at times. It was not who I'd normally been for the last 3 years, we'll call it. But that catalyst, that moment of taking the action is what is the only thing that'll typically work for you to get out of the space of wasting your life by taking an action that's different. And when I did this, man, it all changed. And the biggest part for me was like, I remember when that catalyst moment was that changed everything. What was a prompt to really make me move was I had this moment where I caught myself as a reflection in the mirror. Like, I literally caught myself and I go, man, I don't like this guy. It's like a New Year's Day. I was just like, this dude. I remember it was seriously in a spot where I was in an environment that no one cared and no one noticed me. I just wasn't feeling good. And I remember I just walked in the mirror. I go, I don't like this guy, man. And that catalyst becomes the thing that makes you go, I got to do something different. It kickstarts you. It takes you to a new level. It's not always some whiz bang, explosive moment. Sometimes it's like just this calm, simple, this isn't where I belong. You wake up and change some things. You get to a point of moving a different tick. See, I was also in an environment where nobody cared. You might be in the same environment. Nobody cares, right? No one cares who you are. No one cares how smart you are. In fact, misery loves company. They like you to be in that bottom with them. They want you to do the drugs with them, to drink with them, to party with them, to go have, these different orgies with them. They want you to do craziness, like literal craziness, because misery loves company. And so what you do is you want to be accepted by this group, so you stay in that funky place. You know you don't belong there. So what you do is you just stay there, and you get kind of pulled in. The people that do care about you, that want you to do well, you don't feel like you belong around them. You're a little bit shameful. So you don't. You stay in where the misery loves the company, and you all do dirt together, and you get stuck there, and it sucks because you don't have to be there. See, in those moments, what I want you to realize is you do not have to believe that you are great. You have to believe you can get better and you can get great. See, that's what becomes the thing that changes stuff. The reason unconfident, uncomfortable action really works in those dark moments is because all they are you trying something new and different in a new direction that's not the norm for you, but it's necessary to get to the next level. See, my belief at certain points was that, I didn't know what would happen. I had no clue what would happen. What I did, however, know was if I did nothing, if I changed nothing, I'm going to a place I don't want to arrive. That's it. If you change nothing, you end up in a place you probably don't want to be. So what's the solution? Well, you may not believe in yourself. You may not believe you can do this because you've already had this track record of doing poorly, but you can believe that if you keep doing this, the place it goes isn't good. So all you must believe is that something has to change, and it's not going to be something that's fun to do. That simple ownership is a reality that when it sets in, gives you a drive to go somewhere else, gives you a drive to press into a new space. And what I've known is that the belief I have really is the thing that drove me from failure into being one of the people in the world that tries to give useful insights to people. From being a failure to being someone having success in some manner, to fixing my marriage, to becoming a present father, to getting my body back in shape, to traveling and talking and sharing, to doing things in a world that I love to do, just like this, talking and sharing with you. Now, had I not gone through that, had I not experienced that, had I not not kind of traverse these ups and downs. And what happens is I land in a space where my life isn't that great, and it continues on to be not so great. See, for you, you've got to start spending more time coming back to the center point of going, all right, my life isn't great right now. What do I do? Well, I step in and I own some stuff. My life is like this because of me. It's like this because of what I've done or haven't done, not because of somebody else, not because of the economy, not because of some situation I experienced. It's you. And if I'm going to get up and go, I got to have this mentality of I can do this. I'm built for this. I got this. I can do this. I'm built for this. I'm got this. Like that's got to be it. I can do it. Not because you've done it before, but because you can give your energy to something new, because you can show up every day and do something different, because you don't mind the fact that you might look stupid. You are, to be honest, let's be honest. If you're wasting your life, you already kind of look stupid. You already kind of look dumb. Someone's going, this person with all the potential can do all these things and is not doing it. What are you, stupid? You an idiot? Why would you not create something better for your life? You can talk, you can walk, you have a great family, you have a great team, maybe you have great experiences. If you don't have that, I bet if the world's kicked your butt a couple times, you got some hardened mentality. So you have some ability to do something. What are you doing? Why are you wasting the time? Why are you just gonna let your life go by? You got this one shot to do something great, and be honest, the harder you had it, the higher you can climb, the better the rise. So don't sit back and be a nobody and let your life slide. Don't waste your days or waste your life. Your life is not a waste. To someone, you are someone. Someone looks up to you. Someone celebrates you. Somebody wants you to do well. But here's the truth. No one can want more for you than you want for yourself. That's it. You have to want it. But once you want it, you can start doing different things, applying different energies, different actions. But you got to realize it's not going to be stuff you want to do. It won't feel fun or sexy or enjoyable. It's not going to be the most beautiful thing you get to step into. To be quite honest, you might hate a lot of it. It might get under your skin, but here's what I'll tell you. The first couple, we'll call it the first try, sucks. The next one, even more. Third one sucks a little bit, but it gets a little bit better. Fourth time you do it, you're like, oh, get a little bit better, and you keep going. And little by little by little, you go from being this person that's not what I do, and I feel awkward doing it, to being like, no, I feel more comfortable here, to eventually, I'm an animal at this. This is what I do. And then you can step back and go, I've gotten so far. I now look at the people that are still stuck where I used to be. My heart goes out to them. It's time to go help them. That's how you should live your life. The statement that I heard, I'm not sure who said it, but it said the rent we should pay to live on this earth should be in the service to others. That's how I look at my life. It might be serving my wife, my kids, right now serving you. But if you can focus on creating some of your life that you get so fulfilled it has to pour out, there's a natural inclination to help somebody in your world. But you first got to fix your life and fill your cup. Go take this into account. Apply it to your life. Start this whole process by literally finding out who can help, figuring out where you must take complete ownership of your problems and situations of what you did. Then take unconfident, uncomfortable action in the moment that feels the worst to take it, but you got to take it. And what I want you to do is commit to it daily. Every day, show up and do something committed to the actions, not the outcomes. And then little by little, you'll have some progress, you'll have some headway, and then you'll get to a point where you look at it and go, look, I never believed it was possible. All I believed was if I kept doing this, it wasn't going to work. But I believe that if I put effort and energy in, something could work. And the something becomes everything. That's it. You got this. Make sure if you enjoyed this video or it hit you a little bit to watch this video up here, spend some time on it for you. It's one that can change your life too. Check it out. And as always, do the dark work to make shift happen.